For the years, we've covered one controversy after another at Western Region Off-Track Betting, or OTB, which includes Batavia Downs and other gambling sites across the area. Finally, we're about to get a comprehensive look at the organization's finances. State Comptroller Tom DeNapoli's office confirming to 7 News that his team will audit OTB's financial operations starting in February. Former Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown is now CEO of OTB. He was informed 5 days ago of this audit, which we're told will look at 3 to 5 years of financial documents.
The only thing that's not on the table right now that the Comptroller's office is saying is the buyout packages that were granted to Henry Watazik and 2 other departing executives. The Comptroller's office says the State Inspector General is looking into that matter, and so they're going to leave the IG's office to that work, and they're going to focus on other issues.
So late last year, Erie County Comptroller Kevin Hardwick sent a letter to the State Comptroller asking for this audit of OTB. It's a request that appears to have worked, and Comptroller Hardwick joins us live here tonight. Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome, Michael. Nice to be here.
So let me ask you just your reaction to this and what you anticipate we will learn as a result of this audit.
I think it's great. To begin, Erie County is one of 17 owners of OTB, Western Regional OTB. It's 15 counties and 2 cities, Rochester and Buffalo. Erie County is the biggest owner. We get the greatest share. This year we'll probably get about $2.5 million or so from them, which in a $2 billion budget, you know, isn't all that big, but it's still every dollar, and in this case every $1 million helps. What we want out of this is to get the most revenue we can from this operation, and I think they're spending a lot of money on wasteful things like basically they have 2 CEOs they're paying for this year. You know, they have Henry Watazik, who they bought out and gave him a year's salary of about $300,000, and now of course Byron Brown is the new CEO and he's getting another $300,000. I mean, that to me seems wasteful. Now, that's not a knock on either Henry or Byron. If I were them, I would take the money too. Sure. But I think the board has to be a little bit more thrifty with the way they spend their money. And there are a lot of other things there. I think it's a target-rich environment for the State Comptroller, and that's why I sent a letter to him in November asking for this, adding my name to the chorus of that included good Sean Ryan and good government groups like the League of Women Voters and the like. And I think they'll find something. I don't know what they'll find, but I'm hopeful that they'll find a lot, and they'll begin to change the culture there.
Do you hope that this is more about looking at the administration prior to Byron Brown, or that it will also include since he took over? Because there's been some criticism with the number of people who were hired there since the former mayor took over.
I tend to think the way audits work, having done a lot of them as county comptroller, is it'll be looking at the prior administration because you'll be looking at multiple years. Now, that's not to say that some of it won't lapse over into the current administration, but even if it doesn't, I think the sort of things that they'll find will be instructive, hopefully, to the board members there, and hopefully, if nothing else, embarrass them into doing better.
Yeah. Finally, I'm glad that you mentioned off the top here why this is important. I don't think everyone realizes that the money, the profit from OTB goes to Buffalo, Rochester, and then a bunch of our counties. So it impacts every person watching because the money comes to fund our local government. Are you confident that the people in charge now will do a better job of being stewards of that money?
I'm certainly hopeful that they are. But I think a lot of the members of the board of directors are the same as we had, you know, for several years, and that's a concern of mine also. And again, as you say, this is important. That $2 million is important because every dollar that we can get from some other source is a dollar we don't have to raise in county property taxes.
Erie County Comptroller Kevin Hardwick, whose letter, it appears, along with others, helped spark this audit from the State Comptroller. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
You're welcome, Michael.